Welcome to my ECS 210 summary of learning. So this semester I took ECS 210, which is a curricular class, and I learned a bunch of different curricular ideas. Because at first I thought the curriculum documents were just the outcomes. It was exactly what we were supposed to teach. I was nervous actually, because that's what I knew. And then Katia and Michael and Joy came in and taught us so much more than that, and recognized how important the curriculum is for me as a teacher. So we started right off with common sense of education. This is something I really didn't know anything about. And so when we started off, we learned that it's the expectations, it's not really challenge, it's always the same, kind of the past, it's what's expected of us. And we learned about our own common sense, recognizing our past experiences, how we were taught, how we're more than likely going to teach our own classrooms. And so learning that, I learned I have to expand and explore all the common senses so that I'm recognizing everyone. So Michael and Katia then taught us about the curriculums and the ways to teach them. So there were three main ones they talked about: formal, hidden, and null. So that first one, formal curriculum, is exactly what I'd heard before. It was the objectives, the outcomes, the document, everything we had to teach in school. And then the hidden curriculum was the stuff that are taught in schools that's not formal. So it's the things that kind of just sneak in there by how we're taught, the perspectives that are taught. And then the null curriculum is the topics that are not taught in school. So a lot of things that I didn't learn in school. And so into making sure how those null and hidden curriculum affects the school was something that I really learned because I hadn't known about them before. And then recognizing if we don't teach them, that we're kind of showing our students that it's not important to learn about them, which we don't want. So then they taught us a bunch of different approaches to the different curriculums. So there was the transmitted knowledge, which is seen as kind of memorization and replicating all the knowledge, which reminded us a lot of our own school experiences. We also really recognize that's not what we want for our students. The next was product. So this curriculum is all about final product. So it's factory adults. It's teaching them exactly what we needed to know. So it's objective, content, teach and learn, and then evaluate whether they understand it. So this focuses on a lot of traditionalists like Tyler and Bobbitt, which is a huge focus in my own schooling. A lot of my teachers taught similarly to that. And I really found in my critique that the pressure comes from those outcomes and indicators. It kind of tells us exactly how we want the students to know it. And it was the basis of how I was taught. And I want to strive as a teacher to do better than that. And so to teach differently, we learn curriculum as process and praxis, which is a great. So process is the interactions between the student, teacher, and knowledge in the classroom. So it's getting the kids involved, it's recognized what they're learning, and it's all done within the chaos of the classroom. It's about learning from everything that's occurring. And then praxis is focusing on the inside as well as learning from the outside of the classroom. So we're taking in those kids' experiences, they're being responsive, they're being taught about their lives and society, and they're getting really involved in that learning. And so theorists like Dewey push for this curriculum, which are people that I really base my philosophy off of and I wrote a lot about. And so curriculum as it's student-driven, it's active learning, it's experiences, it's through play, it's getting them involved. And it's really the ideal way we want to teach our curriculums to our students. And it's really based on the teacher. It's about getting it done. And so it's a lot of work as a teacher is what I've really recognized. And it's something I'm really willing to dig deep into. And it's looking at that front matter. It's focusing on learning. It's getting them interested and engaging them. And it's something that I think, like I said, I really want to do in my classroom with my students, especially in high school, which really comes into how today's curriculum should be taught. It's authentic, it's flexible, it's engaging. After learning all that information, Michael and Katia taught us to really put it together and look at the past to create a better curricular future. So our education past, we had to learn to grow from it, learn how we still teach it and how we can learn from that. And we looked at how our schools have always ran. So our teachers, our students, the government, the boards, the parents, and all those influences, and being able to kind of balance them and understand that we need to listen to our students and listen to ourselves for whatever is the best for our classroom, which I thought was so important to learn because there's so many different ways we get information. And so curriculum as place was something I found really interesting, and just introducing teaching it and learning from a nature point of view. And so place really began to talk about treaty education, which completely corresponded with Treaty Ed Camp. And I learned so many ways to incorporate Indigenous culture into all of our subjects, into every every year. And so learning it to incorporate it is so important, and it'll be such a benefit to my teaching, and especially as a white female educator, because my lenses are very slim range. My biases are very normal for an educator, and I just want to be able to get those, gaining them and spreading them, and understanding that it's part of everything. And so numeracy and literacy were a big one, about being oppressive and challenging those lenses, especially as a math teacher, and being able to include those ethnic-based learning environments to be inclusive and to have all the students learn and be able to have every student grow and feel included in the classroom. And so I feel like this knowledge has really grown me as an educator, as a person, and I'm really ready to put it into action, whether that be in the rest of my education or my career, because I feel like this is always going to be an important part of my educating. So thank you, Mike, Caddy, and Joy. You could not have done a better job.